Today's topic is how fear does not really keep you safe and how to let go of fear.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so the first thing we're going to talk about how fear does not keep you safe. I know a lot of people think fear keeps you safe. It doesn't. Then secondly, we're going to talk about how, in fact, it's the opposite. Fear can actually increase danger instead of keeping you safe. And then the third thing we're going to do is give you a little tip on letting go of fear, how to let go of fear. And it's just a perception change that we're going to share with you. So first of all, fear, people think, well, I have to be scared because if I'm not scared, then I could do something stupid. Here's just, something to think about. You don't need to be frightened of traffic to not walk out in front of it. You don't need to be frightened of knives to not cut yourself. And you don't need to be scared of snakes, right, to not go into a snake pit. Some people ask it, but so it's not the fear that keeps you safe, it's the understanding. So not only do I not need to, so if I walk up to a road and I'm going to cross the road, I don't need to be frightened in order to not walk out in front of a car. And I certainly don't need to sit at home thinking about how frightened I am of traffic in order to not be hit by a car.
Right.
So that gives you an indication. Now, that's the first thing. So fear is not necessary in order to stay safe.
Fear is actually detrimental.
Which is the second part.
Right.
That's
so
right.
Keeping yourself in that place of fear is really doing detriment not only to your body, but it's not giving you the clarity of mind that you need to actually get you out of a dangerous situation.
Right.
So do you want to talk about the physiology of that a little bit?
Sure. Fear does not keep you safe. Fear keeps you stressed. And when you are feeling fear, the chemicals that are produced from that state, just like all other negative emotions, are stress chemicals. And one of the things they do is shut down the prefrontal cortex of your brain where you do your cognitive thinking. So it means that when you're feeling fear and any other negative emotion, you literally can't think clearly and think straight. So being calm and strategic is the safest state to be in, because then you can plan exit strategies or come up with solutions and opportunities and things. So those are the first two things. The third thing is how to let go of fear. And one of the best analogies, I think, so if you think about it, when you watch a scary movie,
I don't do that.
You feel the fear, right? You feel real fear. Your heart rate increases, everything, you feel the fear. But you don't run out into the street screaming, right? So there's a part of you that knows this is just a movie, but the fear is as real as it would be if you were in a really dangerous, a real dangerous situation.
So using fear more as a road sign or a warning light or something, that just letting you know that these chemicals now exist in your body.
Right.
So you can change your perspective to fear being an ally. So fear then can become that road sign that says, okay, you're heading down the wrong road. You're moving off in a wrong direction.
You're starting to pump stress chemicals into your system.
Or it's just a warning light that's saying, okay, I've got these chemicals going on right now. So if I redirect my focus, I can produce a different chemical state.
Right. And so, if you take the movie, the scary movie thing again, so when you feel fear, remind yourself it's whether it's fear about finances, or it's fear of somebody's going to say something to you, or what does somebody think of you, or if it's fear of, losing your job, whatever's there, whatever the fear, or fear of politics, or what's happening in the world, situations in the world that you're worried about.
Fear of the future.
Fear of the future. That fear, as you're feeling it, is exactly the same fear that you would feel if you were watching a scary movie. It's exactly the same. It's no different. But what does make the difference is what your conscious mind does. So when you're watching a scary movie, you feel that fear and you remind yourself it's just a movie. So you're not running away.
Right.
Or freaking out. Oh my God, right? You remind yourself it's just a movie. When you feel the fear of, an unexpected bill, or somebody's going to be angry with me, or whatever the state of the world, or crime, or anything like that, what you do then is your conscious mind gives it meaning and goes, oh yes, and starts adding proof and evidence and more reason, and which is in real time pumping more stress chemicals into your system, making that fear more intense. So it's what you're doing with your conscious mind, where you're putting your focus, that is determining the difference between a scary movie and living in fear, generally.
So the other one other point that I wanted to make was the detriment of staying in that place of fear. That as you were talking about that, I was actually thinking about martial arts and martial art
Yes.
instructors. I've had a little experience with that in the past, but if you're going to, and I'm sure that other athletes would know this as well, that if you want to put yourself in an advantageous place, you want to get your opponent into a place of fear.
Yeah.
Because you know that they're not operating at their best or their strongest when they're operating in that place of fear.
So the answer is, when you feel, the next time you feel fear, it's reminding yourself and acknowledging that it's just chemicals inside. Fear is the sensation caused by adrenaline and cortisol pumping through your system. So it increases your heart rate. It gives you those sensations. That's all it is. So it's reminding yourself, this is what I would be feeling if I was watching a scary movie, and it's as real as a scary movie. It's not real, because unless your life is in danger this minute, there is no reason for fear. And you want to get into a more strategic state.
And even if it was in danger, being in fear is
Yes.
not going to allow you to act in an optimum state.
Right.
So there really isn't any decent purpose for fear. So
Right.
trying to eliminate fear from your life altogether.
Right. So
is
the
the goal.
first step is recognizing it, acknowledging for what it really is. And then the second step is doing whatever it takes to change your focus, because it is your focus that is determining the chemicals that are being pumped into your system. As long as you're focusing on the so-called reasons for your fear, you're just leaving that tap running. So do whatever it takes. So the first step is see if you can change the thoughts to positive. If you can't, if it's too strong, then watch some comedy, put on some music, do a little dance, get silly, do some physical exercise. Physical exercise is very, very powerful. One of the most effective things is go for a walk, listening to an uplifting audiobook to take yourself out of that state. And then you can come back in a stronger, more strategic state to sort out whatever it is that you were frightened of. And we'll put a list of ideas, more ideas for how to pull yourself out, how to switch your focus.
Check the comments, and if you're watching this again on YouTube, it'll be in the description below.
Right. And in addition to that, we do, of course, check the description for links to everything else we have to offer to help you to condition your brain and body to feel good more of the time, to lower those stress chemicals so that you're not living in that state. It is completely possible to live in a state of not fear, the state of calm and peace and strategy.
Very good. So we hope that helps, and we will see everybody again next week.
Oh, and don't forget, you can ask questions as well. Sorry, ask questions in the comments as well.
Very good. Bye for now.